there! Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining me today, if it's your first time, buckle up, buckle up. Where can you find these videos? On Instagram. Follow me there. If you like, subscribe on the YouTube channel so you get the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/robstatue if you'd like to enjoy the videos in full length. Because I chops it up in pieces when I puts it up on the Instagrams. And the patreon.com/robstatue if you'd like to fiscally, financially support the show. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's Canada, down south in the US, further down south, Mexico, further down south in Mexico, to South America, over there in Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, Papua New Guinea, New Zealand, Australia's, the Polish people, over there in Hungary, over there in Ireland, over there in Wales, over there in Venezuela, over there in Vietnam, over there in Bangkok, Shanghai, in Thailand, over there in India. A billion of you, more than a billion of you, so many of you. So yeah, there we go. 8 billion of us just floating on a little marble, and it's Friday. That's right, March the 28th, 2025. Let's have a little bit of fun. It's good to be alive and kicking, ladies and gents, I'll tell you that. Let's just start right off because a lot is happening. We got a lot to discuss. Lots of fun to be had, of course. But before we get started, let's just start real nice and easy and then we'll get right into it. Or maybe we'll start hard. Maybe we are all hard. And we probably are hard. Mostly. Most of us are hard. I'm hard right now. You're probably hard watching these videos. As a matter of fact, you've never been harder. You're like, how do I forget my Viagra prescription? Forget Blue Chew. Okay, fine. Still, you can take your Blue Chew. They're not a sponsor. They could easily be a sponsor. But nonetheless, these videos do more than the Blue Chew could ever do for you. So watch them while you're fucking your wife or your husband or your guma. It works for people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, all the way up to the part where you're like, oh man, that's just a... what is that? Is that a sack of potatoes? No, that's your great grandma. That's your grandma. She's still fucking going like a little jackrabbit, just pouncing on granddaddy's cack. That's neither here or there, ladies and gentlemen. But nonetheless, speaking of family members, friends, enjoying a little bit of the sexual activities, I have noticed that every time people do visit your home, like family, like friends, like acquaintances, like business partners, associates, sometimes they may end up staying over. Sometimes they might be even your family members who reside in the same place, in the same dwelling as you, which is nice. It's good to be a close knit community. It's good to be close. It's good to share feelings. It's great to share memories. Watch a little game. Listen to a little music. Play a little game. Go outside, grill barbecue. Do all the good that families and friends do. But every once in a while, lovers inside dwellings, husbands and wives, girlfriends and boyfriends, aunts and uncles, grandparents, whoever is visiting, and even if you're living with each other, you might catch yourself in certain situations having sex, which is completely normal. Moms and dads do it. Boyfriends, girlfriends do it. Fiancés do it. And that's the thing, a lot of times people go in bedrooms and close the door and have sex in a private setting. And that's completely fine. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it. But deep down inside, I think all of us have been feeling something inside of us, telling us, hey, this is beautiful what we're doing here. I wish more people could enjoy what we're doing right now. I wish we could somehow share this experience with a lot of people, or at least the people inside this dwelling right now. But unfortunately, we've made it a tradition to go behind closed doors and do it privately. What if I told you that could all change? And it can change. Introducing the all-new sex projectors for family, friends, acquaintances, lovers, people you just met on the street and invited you into your home and said, hey, why not stay a night or two? That's right, those people. By installing sex projectors in every bedroom, in every room of the house, I'm talking kitchen, I'm talking living room, I'm talking a little greenhouse you got in the back, I'm talking guest bedrooms, I'm talking just the corridors of the hallways, wherever, a bathroom, it doesn't matter, in the basement, projectors all around the house, allowing you to actually go ahead and project your sexual experience as it's happening on these beautiful screens in any room at any time, and share the entire experience with the people who are staying with you, living with you. Because a lot of times you'll see that, parents at one point you're like, oh, when the baby's a youngin', that's whatever. They don't understand. It's nothing. Sometimes they might be even like 2 months old, and the crib is in your bedroom. No problem. But at a certain age, you stop doing the deed in front of them. And that's completely acceptable as well. And then teenagers come around, and then you count on the days. You're like, oh, I can't wait till they leave. And they turn into adults, and then they leave to go to college or get a job somewhere, and then you miss them, and then they might move back in. But guess what? You're all living under one roof now. And you're like, oh, and they bring people home too. You beautiful people bring people back home. And that's something that happens too. So you got lovers under one roof. Grandparents coming to visit for Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever you happen to celebrate. And everybody goes into their little bedrooms, and everybody gets their little privacy and does it on their own terms, does it on their own, And that's fine. And that's honestly fine. Unless we tell ourselves, you know what? Why not share this experience? Imagine all the times you might have just been hearing noises. Just clap, clap, clap. Who's clapping in the next door over down the hall? That's your dad fucking your mom right there. And guess what? You could have easily been seeing that on any projector had you invested in a projector, a sex projector, and install it in all the bedrooms and hallways and corners of your household. Or your guests. Imagine your guests coming over. Oh, Jill, come over with Jack and Jill coming over to stay. We love Jack and Jill. Everybody's having fun, wine, and everybody's dining and having a great time. But guess what? In the evening, when everybody says goodnight and parts ways to go to their little corner, and they might be getting a little frisky, all that is done in the private. Nobody else gets to see it. Until now. Now you get to see Jack and Jill fuck, and now they get to see you fuck as well, which is beautiful. So share the experience. Buy this. It's a gift. You can gift it to each other. It's a sex projector. You're like, could it project any other movies? Of course it could. Of course it could. But mostly it's intended for you to be able to project your sexual activities for your lovers, family members, friends, even strangers that, again, come into your house and stay for a little while. So go ahead and experience the loving feeling that is in the air. Project your sexual experiences inside your own household, at least. Because they certainly don't let you do it outside. At least project it on all the screens and all the walls of your dwelling. You're welcome, everybody. It's Friday. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's get a sip of this coffee first and foremost. I love animals. You know me. I'm a big animal guy. You give me a panda, I'll fucking, I'll tickle its little belly. You give me a little kangaroo, I will hop with it. Reptilians, not so much. Slytherins, not so much. From afar, but that's what it is. That's the beautiful nature of things. I saw a little video. I'm sure some of you have seen it. Some of you might have missed it because there's just, we're all on different timelines, similar timelines, different timelines, but looking at different things, looking at the same things. I did catch a video. It was beautiful. A crocodile and an alligator fighting in the Everglades National Park, which I believe should be in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Florida, if I'm not mistaken. Everglades are in the Floridas. And it's beautiful to see that. It's incredible. I've never seen, you hear stories, alligators, crocodiles in the Everglades, in Florida, in places like Florida. I've seen videos of crocodiles just going into people's bathrooms, kitchens. Just, how do they get in there? It doesn't even matter, but they find their way. Tons of them out there. But this video depicted an alligator and a crocodile fighting and rolling around. And it doesn't happen too often. You don't get to see it. I'm sure it does in nature, but it's one's trying to snap at the other one. They're biting each other's heads, tails. There's a little bit of blood. There's alligator goo all over the place. I'm like, man, this does not happen often. Why don't more people get involved? Because a lot of times they're like, oh, what happens if you get caught up with an alligator? What do you got to do? And what do you do? Professionals technicians say that you gotta roll with it. You gotta roll with these alligators. If they bite you, especially if you're in the water, they're gonna take you down and roll with you. And here I am watching this video. Somebody's recording it. Somebody's filming it. It is a national park. I'm not sure if it's like, if it's like a zoo or like a, I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure what the facilities are like. But all I'm saying is, if you had the time to record it, don't just be a bystander in there. Get involved. Roll with the animals. They're gators. They're crocodiles. They're biting each other. They're not focused on you. Set your camera aside, and I get it. You want to be filming. You want to be posting videos. It's beautiful to see that. It's incredible. It's rare. But you could easily set your camera aside. Jump in between them. Like when they're fighting. Start rolling with them. Again, they're quite busy fighting each other. Take a couple of bites. Roll every time they roll. Because next time, it might be that you catch yourself in the wild somewhere, in the Everglades, for example, and you might get caught by an alligator or a croc. And now, because I'm just gonna do it once I get there. I don't need to practice. I don't need to be, shadow boxing or rolling with my fake alligator. Well, guess what? Here was an opportunity, and there are probably plenty of opportunities out there. So all I'm just saying here is, if you see alligators, if you see crocodiles rolling, biting, jump in there and practice on dry land. Gives you a lot of advantage. You're not going to be caught off guard next time you're in the water or in the pond, and then they bite you, and then you're like, oh, I wish I just rolled a little bit on dry land, so at least I know what I'm capable of handling or not. They might even bite you, but at least it's on dry land. What if they bite you in the water and it's moist? Nobody likes that. So please, next time, as much as we all enjoy the video of the alligator and crocodile, get involved, jump right on top of them. They say clamp their mouth shut. You gotta, use, and that's the thing. How would you even know if you've got enough strength to hold their mouth shut? So go ahead and jump on top of them if you see them in the wild. If they come into your kitchen, do not call so-called professionals and wranglers. Sure, you could do that. Best thing you could do, because this is not going in. They've been around for millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years. Millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years to millions of years. I don't know how long they've been here. They say a long time. They say sharks have been here longer than man has. I'm guessing alligators, crocs, probably around the same. Hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years then. The dinosaurs, they've been here for a long time. And we're just like, oh, we'll just call a wrangler. Get involved. You got a couple of kids at home, throw them on top of the alligators. Kids are nimble. Allow them to use their agility while they have it. Before you know it, they're going to be, popping joints and cracking knuckles and getting old and losing that agility. Put it to use. If you got a young child, a toddler, toss it in the midst of the alligator and the croc and let them just figure it out. A couple of scratches, a couple of bumps, bruises never hurt no one. You know what did hurt somebody? Not being fucking prepared. That's right. So if you see the alligators and the crocodiles, roll around, get in front of it, jump. And a lot of times people are too obsessed with filming shit. Even if you don't film it, jump right in between them, roll with them, hug them tight, give them a nice tight bear hug. Tickle the armpit of the alligator and the croc, spit in their eyes, lick their eyes. And that's how you can gain a little bit of knowledge into, handling alligators and crocs. That's how you can gain a little bit of experience. You're welcome. Just putting it out there because I see an opportunity. I'm like, you know what? Let's squeeze as much lemon juice out of this lemon as possible. Ladies and gents, of course, it is Friday and we're doing it together. Let's just have a little sip of this bad boy. I did rip the side of my mouth here. I don't know what it is. The seasons are changing. The weather is fluctuating here in the GTA. One day it's cold, one day it's hot. Probably need to moisturize a little bit. I probably need to drink a little bit of water. But I ripped the corner of my mouth and it does hurt a little bit, but I will brave through it. It's all right. Or did he rip the side of his mouth sucking cock? Which was it? It was dry weather. Or was it sucking cock or dry weather? Which was it? Speaking of sucking cock, a lot of people love sucking cock. A lot of people love eating puss. A lot of times people love chocolate. It's one of those things that people love. But a lot of times people don't mix the two. Or if they do, it's, not that frequent. But I say, you know what, you enjoy chocolate, and you enjoy giving head or eating out puss, why not just combine the two experiences together? Next time you're about to leave the house, and a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't know how to multitask. They say that you technically could multitask, but it's actually been proven it's better to focus on one thing at a time. I say fuck it up. Mix it. It's 2025. Before you leave your house, because you never know when you're gonna get head, and you never know when you're gonna get your pussy eaten out. So next time, once you get up and do your little morning routine, whatever it may be, shit, shower, shave, all that jazz, nice, deodorant, brush your teeth, great, fantastic. But before you leave, get a little bit of chocolate sauce, a little bit of, a chocolate spread, maybe a Nutella. Just spread it all over your cock. Put it inside just smear it all over your vagina. Put your underwear on, put your pants on, put your skirt on, walk out the door, go about your day. Set it and forget. A lot of times people are like, I'm not quite sure, because I know I love eating chocolate. I know most people love eating chocolate and giving head and eating puss, but I don't know if I can manage honestly, if you just work it into a quick little routine after shit, shower, shave, smear a little bit of, right before you put on your underwear. It's super easy. A lot of people make excuses. I don't know if I've got the time. I don't know if this is for me. Will the chocolate still be good by midday, afternoon, towards the end of the day? Chocolate is actually better when aged, and it's even better when it's on nuts and on vaginas. So please spread a little bit of chocolate. Just put the salt all over your cock, all over your puss. Don't worry about the stickiness. After a couple of hours, you'll actually grow to appreciate the little bit of discomfort and become accustomed to it, and you'd be surprised. As a matter of fact, I've been doing this for about 2 months now, and I've never felt more comfortable. I'm telling you right now, it's super easy. You just put the chocolate on your cock and you walk out the door, do your business, whatever, go to your job, go to your meetings, go take care of whatever it is, drop the kids off. Kids are long gone. You're in your 40s, 50s. Kids are long gone. So that's the thing. You don't even need to worry about them getting back. Put the chocolate on your cock, in your puss, around it, all around it, everywhere. Cover it up. Put your underwear on, pants on, shoes on, walk out the door, do your thing. And the next thing you know, it's fucking afternoon time. It's evening time. Everything's wrapped up. You've done the good work. You worked hard. Now it's time to play hard. You go back home, drop the pants. Guess what's underneath? Guess what's underneath? A beautiful puss covered in chocolate. That's right. So now you get to enjoy chocolate and puss or cock and puss, instead of having to decide, am I going to have a little snack? Am I going to go and, spread a Nutella on a little white Wonder Bread and enjoy that? Or am I going to eat puss? What to do? Decisions. Oftentimes we've seen people have to make these drastic, life-changing decisions, have to pick between two of their favorite things, snacking and eating puss or giving head. And it's just, it breaks my heart, because I'm like, you know what? If more people talked about this, we wouldn't have to make these so-called tough decisions. We wouldn't have to compromise. All right? Don't compromise with yourself. Invest in yourself. Spread a little bit of chocolate on your cock, on your puss. Wear your underwear and get out of the house. Take care of it. And when you return, you'll be happy that you did that first thing in the morning. All right? So don't make any excuses. If I've got time, you've got time. All right? You're welcome, ladies and gents. Tell a friend, tell a family member, tell a stranger. A lot of times ladies want to be giving head. Sometimes a portion of the male population, I'm talking about the homos, the fags, people we love, like giving head. They want to be sucking cock. A lot of times, people are content with what they're capable of doing on dry surfaces, on land, giving head on land. And it never even occurred to them, could I be enhancing my head? Could I be enhancing my head game? Could I be giving better head? So I did the research, I put in the time, I thought about it, did a little bit of soul searching, might have done a little bit of traveling, might have even made a few trips to the local library, cracked open a couple of books. I may have spoken with some experts. We may have had to raise a lot of money to do a lot of research overseas. We might have had to pay some local officials off. There were a few injuries during this whole process of me finding out, is there a way you could enhance your head game? And all of it was worth it. That's right, all of it was worth it. The results, you're wondering, well, what could it be? Could I be possibly missing out on a little trick or a little practice that could enhance my head giving game just even a little bit? Well, I'll tell you, what if I told you it's not even a little bit? What if I told you it is a little trick that you could do to enhance giving head? What if I told you you could 10x your head giving game by simply sucking dick underwater? That's right, sucking dick underwater. A lot of times, because people, ladies, and some men, you can suck dick on land when it's dry. That's fine and dandy. But if you can actually master the art of giving head underwater, 10x your game, 10x your head game on land, dry sucking as we like to call it. That's just a little bit of pro jargon. It's again, dry sucking. Do not be intimidated by what you hear. We'll go one step at a time together. Take the time, next time you're in a swimming pool, find a cock. When you go down, start sucking. Stay under for as long as you can. The next day, get in there. Try to enhance it 10 seconds at a time. Add 10 seconds every day to your routine. Sucking dick for 2 minutes underwater, fantastic. Following day, you come in and you do 210. Following day after that, you do 220. Following day after that, 230, so on and so forth. By the time you've actually mastered the art of giving head underwater, and now you can give head underwater for as long as 45 minutes to an hour, which is incredible. Incredible. Now you've 10x'd your head game on dry land, dry head. You can actually give head for 10 hours. That's fantastic. And again, there's plenty of resources out there, rec centers, there are swimming pools. You can even get you can get one of those inflatable swimming pools that go in the backyard. Doesn't cost too much money. There's always the sea, there's the ocean, rivers, ponds, lakes. Jump in these bodies of water, give head underwater, and you'll actually enhance how much oxygen your lungs can intake and hold for a really long time. Again, do not go ahead and just, say, I'm gonna do 2 hours of underwater giving head. Don't do that. It's very similar to any other exercise or ritual or for whatever it is, sort of an art. So if you want to be doing it, start with little increments and build up. Do not go all the way like, I've never given head underwater. I'm just gonna go and give head underwater for 45. You're gonna die. You're gonna die, and I don't want people to die. Did people during our research get hurt? Like I said, I can't talk about it. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Maybe there was a little bit of loss of translation when we were talking because of the local translator didn't quite get the gist of what we were trying to convey. Whose fault is it? I say there's a language barrier. It doesn't matter. We're not taking full responsibility. And to be honest with you, we have actually relocated facilities and are no longer working in particular locations, which I'm not going to mention where. No more business in certain areas. But that's just, and you learn along the way. Get better translators. You learn. We make mistakes, and we're gonna own up to it. When we do, and that's our fault. That's our fault for not hiring the proper translator. That's aside the point, though. So please go ahead and give head underwater if you want to actually enhance your dry head experience on land. Give head like a pro. Don't hold yourself back, and enjoy all the fun you're going to be having. You're welcome, ladies and gents. A lot of times females have beautiful asses. Most of them do. A lot of them do. A lot of times women want to be wiggling and jiggling their asses. Unfortunately, they can't. They'll have to suffice to finding particular designated areas or locations that they could go to shake, wiggle, and jiggle their ass, i.e. strip clubs, i.e. clubs, i.e. dance parties. That's all fine. That's all good. What if I told you there was a way that you could actually wiggle and jiggle your ass, ladies, without even actually having to move your body? That's right. That's right. We came up with a little device that you can attach to your pants, which will jiggle and wiggle your ass Even when you're not wiggling and jiggling yourself, you could be standing in a line anywhere, grabbing coffee in the morning at Starbucks, or a local coffee shop. Fantastic. Simply press a button that'll actually go ahead and wiggle and jiggle your ass inside your jeans, inside your pants, right underneath your skirt, wiggling and jiggling, mimicking a low vibrational twerk. Not quite a full twerk, but a low-key twerk. All right? Long gone are the days of people having to get up and go to the gym for the sake of shaking and wiggling and jiggling their ass. Going to the gym, that's fantastic. You do that for your health purposes. But we all know deep down inside there's a little bit of us that wants to wiggle and jiggle our ass, and we don't necessarily want to maybe go to the gym every time. It's great to go to the gym. I'm not telling you not to go to the gym. I'm just telling you right now, you could be wiggling and jiggling your ass all around the city with simply buying this little device, installing it in your pants, and walking out the door. Next thing you know, you're at the grocery store. Oh, let me just do a little bit of shopping. I'm just, doing my regular shopping, looking for melons, looking for produce. I'm shopping for strawberries. I'm shopping for blueberries. Maybe a little bit, I'll go check out the meat section. Next thing you know, you see a guy or a lady or a chick, doesn't matter, whatever you're into. And you're like, man, I wonder if there was a better way to get their attention. Now you've done all the regular exercises of opening up the old buttons of the cleavage. You're showing a little bit of tit. That's fine. What if you were bending over to pick up a item like chicken breast, for example, pressing a button, activating the jiggler and the wiggler, and your ass starts shaking and jiggling, and you're not even moving that much, but your ass is next thing you know, signals are being sent, signs are just you're communicating a little bit telepathically at this point. You're not even actually saying much, but your ass jiggling and wiggling is actually doing all the talking for you. Next thing you know, that guy standing right there, could be me, could be anybody else, doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be me. Could be me though, it doesn't matter, or anybody else for that matter, whoever you're into. They'll see your ass wiggling and jiggling. They'll know instantly that this lady is fucking down. Could men use this device? They certainly could if they like. I'm not saying they can't. We've not tested it on males, to be honest with you. If it goes well with our female audience members, our participants, we might look into actually expanding the operation to males as well. But this is specifically made for big booty ladies who want to jiggle and wiggle their ass while they're just standing in line, going up and down an escalator, waiting in line to get into the office elevator, at the water cooler, down in the basement about to get into their car, anywhere that they happen to be. If they want to wiggle and jiggle their ass, they don't have to physically move their body. Simply pressing a button will wiggle and jiggle your ass, drawing the attention that you want, getting that satisfaction of knowing that yes, my ass is like jello and I'm gonna do nothing about it, but I'll let this little device do the talking for me. You're welcome, ladies. Let that ass jiggle and wiggle in someone's face. Next time you're visiting grandpa at the hospital, wiggle and jiggle your ass in his face. Might get a little bit awkward, but it's grandpa, it doesn't matter. Guess what? That haughty doctor over there is also gonna notice you wiggling and jiggling that ass, just to make grandpa smile a little bit. You're welcome. Making people come together one step at a time. Call me fucking Cupid if you like. You're welcome. What else is going on in and around the world? Lots of events are happening in and around the world. I'll say this. I believe that the European Union has made it's not a declaration, it's not like a warning, it's probably like a little, it's like a public service announcement of sorts. They went ahead and told millions of Europeans to be preparing themselves for potential catastrophes, natural disasters, this, that, and the other, and a potential of a breakout of war. They said to stockpile food for about 3 days, foods and supplies. Now, this might be, is it just one of those things that is supposed to get people all rattled up? Is it real? Is it fake? Should people be taking precautionary measures and making sure that they got a little bit of stockpile of food and supplies? Perhaps. Could anything happen? Maybe not. Natural disasters might occur. Yes, wars might break out, but it's probably not gonna. Probably not gonna. It is good to have a little bit of extra supplies though. Or fucking things might break out. I don't know. Things might fucking break out. The thing is, you need to know what to actually stockpile. Food is essential. So go ahead, some items that you might wanna, I say booze. Make sure you have enough alcohol. Because it's like 3 days. If the fucking grid goes out due to a natural disaster or a terrorist attack or cybersecurity attack happen, whatever, grid goes down. You want to make sure you have enough booze. If you smoke cigarettes, have enough cigs. Weed, if you smoke weed, probably best to stockpile a little bit. Just shrooms, always good to have a little bit because 3 days is bare minimum. It could be longer, could be shorter. Doesn't matter. You always want to have enough supplies. Whatever else you're into, vitamins, plenty of vitamins, iodine, I don't know what for, but I think it's a good thing. I don't know what for, helping clean water in terms of, I don't know, maybe like a nuclear disaster, so it doesn't matter, but the essentials. What else? Condoms, lots of condoms, because you don't know, 3 days, fucking it's who knows, natural disaster, potential war breaking out, you don't have any condoms. So the last 3 days of your life, you don't have any condoms, and that's, well, you're like, I actually don't need condoms because it's the last 3 days, or it might be like war might be right. Let me just raw dog. Let me just raw dog it. We're probably not gonna even live through this. You'll say, what if you do though? What if you do and you end up with a baby? Or worse, what if you end up with an STD? Because you're like, oh, I always wanted to have sex with a person with an STD. I always wanted to try, person with AIDS, and just to be able to say I did, and I'm just gonna raw dog it, and because thinking you're not going to be living past 3, but you probably will though. That's the thing. So think through condoms, just the essentials. You're like, what about food? Honestly, if you have enough alcohol, cigs, weed, coffee, condoms, flashlights, candles, food, you should be, of course, food is, store food as well, but mostly remember, you're like, what about water? Honestly, just get like low percentile alcoholic beverages. Just drink beverages that are alcohol, because water is fine, but if you have limited amount of space that you can only store certain things, I say go with beer over water. Like low key, just like 3%, 4% beer, 5% beer, just putting ideas out there so that to stay prepared. Other stuff that you might want to, your video game console. Like, what if electricity goes out? Then that was a waste of time. Then it's probably perhaps a good idea to start thinking about spending a little bit of time finding a board game that you enjoy. Chess, backgammon, playing cards. These are all the things that you could be doing. Instead, you're like, no, I'll just plug in and the grid is never going to go down. What if the grid does go down and you don't know how to play any other games? Guess what? All this time you could have been playing Naked Twister, but you're like, no, I'm just going to plug in and play a game. I'll use a controller and I'll look at a screen. Naked Twister is always available. Naked Poker is always available. Naked Chess is always available. Naked Backgammon is always available. Don't miss out on these opportunities because you're like, oh, the tech is so much better than Naked Chess. I'm telling you right now, Naked Chess or Naked any game is just as good, if not better, than all those, pieces of technology which are fantastic. I'm not gonna lie to you. If the PlayStation wants to sponsor this podcast could be brought to you by Sony PlayStation. And I'm here to tell you that Sony PlayStation is way better than fucking sex right now. If you're like, oh, I can't wait to jizz in my wife tonight, I'll tell you right here, right now, if you think jizzing in your wife is the best thing, even better than Sony PlayStation, you're a fucking mistake. You're wasting your life. This podcast could be brought to you by Sony PlayStation, which some people say is better than jizzing in your wife. And your wife too. She's like, oh, I can't wait till my husband or your boyfriend. Like, I can't wait till he comes inside me. Oh, I'm on the pill. I love it when he comes inside me. Nothing beats this experience. You know what beats this experience? PlayStation, Sony PlayStation games, or Xbox. I don't care. I will care once I get the sponsor. Like, I'll care, dude, whatever. If it's Xbox, I will and I'll tell you right now, if it's Xbox, then you can just piss on any Sony PlayStation console that you got, because they're shitty devices and you're probably losing eyesight looking at that screen playing PlayStation, unless Sony decides to sponsor us, in which case I will say this Xbox is a horrible device that should not even be, you don't want to be playing with Xbox unless you want to lose limbs. Have you ever seen people playing Xbox? They just lose limbs left, right, and center. I saw a guy lose an eye. 3 eyes this guy lost playing Xbox. Oh, his fingers started to bleed. He started to menstruate. That's right. Playing Xbox can also lead you to menstruate if you're not even female. Unless this podcast is brought to you by Xbox, in which case I take everything back and say that Sony happens to make you menstruate. You get what I'm saying over here? Jizzing your wife is a great experience. Unless there's ample amounts of resources, then fucking you can always jizz in her. Who cares? And she can always come on your mouth, whatever. But the point is, ladies and gents, that this podcast is not brought to you by any of these companies. And so for the meantime, I will say this, invest in your relationships. Because when the lights go out, that console's not gonna jizz on anyone. As much as you rub it and as much as you suck it and, pull on it, that console is not gonna jizz on you or come in your mouth. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Pack accordingly is what I'm trying to tell you. Ever get caught up in a situation where you're like, man, I wish I could get out of this situation? I wish there was some sort of service that I could call upon to have somebody come in and rescue me from this disaster of a situation, whether it's a party that you want to leave, whether it's a meeting that you want to leave, whether it's like a little conference that you were sent from work and you're like, oh, I gotta attend this conference, and you're there and it's just going by super slow and you wish you could get out of this situation. Normally you couldn't. Normally you'd have to suck it up and just be an adult about the whole thing. Until now, the Throw Up for Hire experience. All right, this is an all-inclusive experience where we've trained professionals that'll show up wherever you are upon being requested, of course, and throw up on you on demand. All right then and there, and get you, because once somebody throws up on you, everybody completely understands that it's okay for you to leave that circumstance. Oh, my wife's asked me to babysit the kids because she wants to spend a little bit of time, doing whatever, gardening or going out with her friends. And that's fine and dandy. You could do that unless somebody comes and throws up on you right there. And now, oh, sweetheart, I got to get out of here and go clean up and wash the car and maybe go for a spin. There you go. Reverse it. Husband asking you to look after the kids. You've been fucking looking after the kids ever since you gave birth to them. By pressing a button, you'll have a professional show up, hired, trained professionally. Years of training will show up and throw up on you and be like, oh my God, look at my tits. They're covered in a stranger's throw up, sweetheart. No, I can't watch the kids. You watch the kids, you son of a bitch. And that's a loving family. And those are people you want to even spend time with. But imagine you're in a meeting that is just, mindless. Just, sales, all this, that statistics, charts, quarterly targets, and whatever you want to get out of that situation, press a button. A professional Throw Up for Hire individual will show up, open the door of that boardroom meeting, and just violently projectile vomit all over your lap. And guess what? Everybody's like, oh wow, oh damn, Mike, you just got thrown upon. This could have never happened. How did this even happen? They won't even know how it happened because they have no idea. They have no idea this service even exists. I do hope that the word gets out, though, that enough people do find out about it, in which case, down the line, we will have to shut it down. But that's like 10, 20 years from now. Right now, it's at a grassroots stage. You can be getting out of any circumstance that you like. Going to, are you a professor about to go to class and like give a lecture that you don't want to give? Fine, press a button, have somebody show up and throw up on you and be like, oh my God, I can't believe, look at the professor, he's covered in it's projectile vodka, who is this guy? And the guy will just fucking get out of he'll just get out of there like a little ninja, scurrying off into the distance, and you'll never see him again. But the professor gets to leave home early. At a mechanic shop, working with your mechanic buddies, and it's great that you're doing that, but guess what? One day you might want to just be like, you know what? Today's a sunny day. I'm about to go out, and I wish I could just leave. And there are not even enough cars coming in. Not enough cars coming in. You're like, I wish there would, but I can't ask to leave early. By pressing this beautiful button, a professional, hired, trained individual will show up and throw up on you right in your face if you like. We can do that. We have the technology to do that. We will projectile vomit in your face, drenched in vomit. I'm talking chickpeas, I'm talking green peas, I'm talking carrots, I'm talking beets, just blood colored throw up in your face, and you can leave home early. You're welcome. I know a lot of people are like, how do I get to dip out of a situation at a party and no one's throwing up and you want to leave early, but you don't want to seem like that guy that always leaves early? You don't want to be the guy that's always doing the Irish exit? Fine, press that button. Next thing you know, a lady will walk in. That's right, we have female professionals hired and trained to do the same thing, and they can projectile vomit just as good as the men, if not better, because whatever men can do, women will do a good job too. Just as good or sometimes better depending on the female. You'll be surprised. You're like, there's no way a 5'2" bitch is gonna throw up as much on me as a guy who's 6'5", weighing 325 pounds. Bitch, do you know the amount of training we spend on these folks? Do you know where we send them to do their training? You think they're just like walking around, you know, sucking on Slurpees and, you know, deep throwing a frozen lollipop and just living their life? No, we send them to the most horrific places on earth, the desert. And we have them just to throw up in dry heat. And then we take them to the Antarcticas and the Arctic as well. And we have them throw up in those circumstances too. And they, guess what? They do a fine job. They do a fantastic job. And I will not stand for you questioning my employees, our trained higher professionals, just because they're fucking females and 5'2". They will throw up twice as much as a male, twice their size. It just gets me sometimes because people are like, oh, if I want to, you know, if I want more throw up, I should probably get a bigger guy. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. It's not what's on the outside that counts. It's how much food they've ingested prior. And some of these bitches can fucking throw it down. So give them a chance. What else is going on in and around the world? I believe a submarine sank and killed 6 Russian tourists, injured 39 other tourists. I'm not sure if they were all Russian, but the people that died were certainly, I think, for the most part, Russian. They died off the coast of Egypt in the Red Sea. There was a Red Sea resort, that's what the resort is called, and they do submarine dives. I guess they go in with a submarine and give you a little tourist experience of what it's like to go underwater and experience that. Personally speaking, I could never, I'm not a submarine guy. I'm not a submarine guy myself. You know, there's certain activities that I'm just like, I rather not. I rather see you send the GoPro down in the bottom depths of the ocean. I'll see that video. I don't want to personally get in because we've, especially as of late, we've seen what happens with the airplanes and all that jazz. But submarines, they're not even that popular. Like whatever, like they might be, but they're not. They're not. A lot of people are not like submarining on a regular. So for you to just get up and be like, oh, I'm gonna just get up in a tin can today and just submerge myself deep into the depths of the water and everything's gonna, with strangers, mind you, with a bunch of like 20, 30, 40, 100 more strangers in a tin can underwater, pressurized. There's no air, can't leave. It's worse than an airplane. Airplanes are fine. At least you're in the air. At least you got some space to, you know, but water, oh, the pressure. Anybody could lose their mind in a submarine. It's getting too congested in here. I didn't think it'd be as dark. Oh, and guess what? Anything can happen. So people are doing that. You couldn't pay me enough to do it. The only way I'd probably do a, you know, submarine, you know, dive, it wouldn't be a tourist experience. I'd have to personally join the Marines. That's the only time, because I know that submarine is a legit submarine. It's not some like rusty tin can in the middle of whatever sea, the Red Sea or the Black Sea or the White Sea or the orange or blue, whatever the color of the sea may be. I don't care. Why is the sea red? Probably a lot of women menstruating, leaching their period blood into the water. Somebody should ask questions. Why is it the Red Sea? Is it one sea designated for ladies to be able to, you know, open period swim, you know, free bleed into the water? Is it why it's called the Red Sea? It is, isn't it? It is. I bet that's why it's called the Red Sea. Why else? Why would we call it the Red Sea? It doesn't make sense for us to call it the Red Sea unless it was a designated sea. In which case, given all the seas and lakes and bodies of water that we do have, it is nice to know that there is one that allows women to just free bleed in it, because we all know that it's, not hygienic, I guess, to do it all over the place. But that might be it might just be an old wives' tale. Unless the female is like sick, unless it's like a female with like rabies, then she's bleeding. And how are you gonna know how many females have rabies or whatever? So but it's good to have. You know what? I'm actually glad that we got the Red Sea. We should have one sea designated for females to be able to free bleed. But that's what happened. 6 people died because they're like, yeah, I'm gonna get in a tin can with a tiny window, go in a really dark location underwater and see a couple of Finding Nemos. Just fucking, the only time I'd go in a submarine is if I joined the Marines, if I did the whole Navy situation, join the Navy is probably what I would do. I joined the Marines and then the Navy, and then that's probably when I go in a submarine. And even then, I'd be like the last guy going, and I'd be the guy closing the lid on top of the flask, the top of the manhole that they climb into. I'd be that guy, because I want to catch a lot of air, because I want to catch the most air before I go in. And even then, I'd be a little bit like, do we need to? Can we just float this on top of the water? But then they're like, no, that's the whole point of the submarine. It submerges underwater. That's the only time I would do it, because those are like, it's about maintenance. It's about maintenance. These other, I don't know why people think like you can just get into any old vessel and have everything be fine. It's as good as its maintenance, and you got to ask questions. Do they maintain it properly? Do I want to catch myself underwater with strangers in a tin can that's poorly maintained just because I can take a dim picture, a poorly lit picture, and say I was, 25 meters underwater? Big whoop. 6 people dead. I would recommend you to, it's one of those experiences. People get bored. I get it. You got to do things. It's one of those, it's a richer experience. It's not one of those things that normal, regular. It's probably not that expensive, which probably should tell you something as well. Because if you want an extraordinary experience, you should probably pay a little bit more for it. It should be a little bit out of reach. If I ever go to a submarine tourism spot, I want it to be as good as or as reliable as like Starbucks or like McDonald's or like Nike. I want it to be the Nike of submarines. I want it to have got down the science of submarining. I want those men and women operating it to be fucking just scheduled, programmed, tested, maintained. The vessel itself just polished. I want somebody spit shining that vessel every day on the hour, polishing it, painting it black or navy blue, and then like letting it dry and then writing some like nice name on it, but like then painting it all over again and then spit shining it once more. Just doing this, just a lot of maintenance. I want people like working extremely hard in that vessel. I don't want it to just be like, let me crank this bad boy up and we'll get it going. And somebody's like pulling on a little chain and it's making all sorts of smoke and fumes. I don't want to see that. And I recommend you I'm just saying, if you are thinking of taking a submarine trip, think twice. But also I do want the submarine tourism industry. I want the tourism industry to be doing well, but like take care of your vessels. How did they even go down? How did it sink? Did it crash into something? Was it the old, how many times are people gonna get distracted in vessels? Somebody having sex in the sub, was somebody painting somebody drawing somebody, sketching somebody in the submarine? Did somebody else from the crew see the young couple sketching and about to get it on? Somebody get jelly and start maybe jerking off in the corner, and they're like, I can't believe this couple is fucking sketching each other and about to get it on while I'm here, digging up coal and putting it in the furnace so we can make this submarine go faster. Fucking guy. They tell us not to have sex, but we can't because we're, staff members. But so that's what I'm saying. Did somebody get distracted? Did somebody join in? Did the couple start sketching, getting down to it? Did other people join in? Did it turn into an underwater orgy? Did the captain lose track of what's important here? Did they all decide to form a circle and piss on each other? And did somebody get distracted? That's what I'd like to know. Questions to be asked. Questions to be asked. Ladies and gents. what else is going on in and around the world. This one's making a lot of headlines, a lot of news, a lot of people are talking about it. I've not seen the movie myself. I myself, I'm a fan of movies. I love movies. I love movies. I love creators, especially as I get a little bit, as I've put a couple of kilometers on the old body, on the old mind, experiencing this thing that I do appreciate people, working, creating things. It's a lot of work. I have a greater appreciation probably for it now than I did when I was younger. Just knowing a little bit more, just a little bit, just a teeny tiny bit. But there's a lot of, there's a lot of backlash against a movie right now that's going on. It's the latest Disney Snow White movie. People are not happy. I'm not quite sure why. Disney is, I believe they're not giving the people what they want. That's the gist of it. That's what I understand. They're not giving the people what they want. Please just give the people what they want, and get on the good graces of the people. Get on. It's super easy, Disney. Super easy. I grew up with Disney cartoons, like many of us did. So many beautiful cartoons that you used to enjoy watching as a child. And then into your adolescence, and then young adulthood, and then even as an adult, you'd be like, oh, Disney's, so I like Disney. I have hopes for Disney. I hope Disney comes back and, finds itself and produces good, because they used to produce really amazing things. They still do. Sometimes it's, things get politicized, and it's a shame. Just give the people what they want. And I believe the Snow White story it should be, if you just listen to people, all people want is for Snow White to be just the character that it's meant to be. Just a character that's super simple. A black tranny for Hamas person should play the character of Snow White. That's what the people want, so just give it to them. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And the dwarfs should just be what dwarves are. Just a giant Chinese man. Just one Chinese giant person could play the Seven Dwarfs, and you just give the people what they want, because that's what it is. Just give the people what they want. Majority of people want Snow White to, again, be a black tranny for Hamas / queer for Palestine / climate activist / just give the people what they want. Make Snow White a black tranny for Hamas and queer for Hamas. And again, the dwarf situation is super easy, because I believe that the story is very simple. It's about originally the story, if I'm not mistaken, again, it was about a black tranny who was in a castle. Parents dead. It's been a long time. I have not reviewed I actually kind of forget. So, whatever. It's dead parents. That's typical of Disney characters. Dead parents, one parent, one good parent, one single parent households. That's why a lot of us, gravitate towards those movies, because, you see yourself in the character. It's a struggle of the young person going and becoming to whether, the Lion King, young lion becoming lion, like a big giant lion. And then next thing you know, it's a fucking, could pet the young lion, but then fucking Simba's all like, 500 pounds growling at you. That's kind of a, stay away. Lion King, same thing. But the point is, just give the characters, give people what they want. What Snow White is about, just, a child who was parentless, may have had a foster parent of sorts. The parent was, the queen did a lot of drugs on a mirror, just fucking chopped lines on a mirror on the wall, constantly, just going and talking to the mirror on the wall. All that, so, just make it what it was. It was about a young child who had, or I don't know, I don't even know the age of the princess, to be honest with you, or Snow White, it doesn't matter. Live with an older jealous bitch. And that's another lesson. Fucking jealous bitches. Hating on more beautiful bitches. How many times have we seen that? Everybody starts off as being like, Yes, you go, girl. Yeah, and then you get to a certain age, bitches be fucking, just not working, cooperating to you, hating on each other. Because this other now there's a, you can't stay on top of the game all day, every day. That's just life. It's called gravity. Your tits will sag, and that's the story of Snow White is about it. Is about women not hating on each other, and trans too. Trans, I think. I think it's mostly probably about trans. Black trans for Hamas. That's probably what it was for originally. Somewhere along the line, I think we went, let's make it about women, but that was give the people what they want. People just want to see a 6'7" black tranny for Hamas, queer for Palestine and Hamas, and just, the dwarfs, it's just again, one tall Chinese guy, just give the people what they want for super easy, but I believe you can find your way, do the right thing, get the people what they want, get your viewership back. Let's get right back on the track and continue making movies for the people, the masses. And we know the masses, deep down inside every movie, they want it to be about just make it about, again, a giant black trans person. And it could be, and that you get that too. You get that. There's this jealous bitch who's like, again, doing coke off a mirror in a bathroom and just fucking jelly of this giant tranny. Because one day, all day, every day, the queen was the queen, and all of a sudden there's this giant tranny who's saying, I want to be queen. She's not even saying that. He's not even saying that. The mirror is saying that. So it all goes back to mental health. So if you're talking to a mirror, this is actually the underlying story of Snow White is about mental health. It's about a bitch looking into a mirror and talking to it, and the mirror responds, and then the bitch responds according to what the mirror is suggesting. You need to get help, man. You need to and that's one, again, why we love Disney movies. Mental health. Talk about it. Get out there. If your mirror's talking to you, it's probably some, underneath there's probably some issues that you need to, but again, just give the people what they want. Just put a giant black tranny in there, replace the dwarves with what they were supposed to be initially, which is one giant Chinese fella, 7'7", just Chinese tall. 7 dwarves are hard to find. One giant Chinese man is much easier. 7 dwarves, they'll be all over the place. 7 midgets all over the place. One giant Chinese guy, it'd be just much easier to make that movie. Make that movie, give the people what they want, and let's all go home happy at the end of the day. Miss 13 leader was recently arrested. This is great news. Miss 13 is obviously it's not quite sure what they are, but Miss 13 leader was arrested, and within this, I love this. I don't care that it's this is just good fucking solid police work. The men's and women's cooperating together, good intelligence, acting swiftly, and going and arresting the leader of Miss 13. Miss 13 is, from what I understand, it's a gang of females, hence Miss 13. They're bitches, they're females, they're a gang of females. The gang is comprised of females some are married, some aren't married. It's just a female gang. That's why it's called Miss 13. Original gang was formed by 13 females, hence Miss 13. They are, I believe, of Hispanic descent. I'm not quite sure. I know that much. I know that they are involved in guns, drugs, probably trafficking, and there you go. We just cracked that case right there. One of the leaders of Miss 13 is swiftly been taken care of, arrested, which means that there are probably going to be, this is what happens to you, Miss 13. Any other females out there thinking of joining gangs, whether you are Hispanic or any other ethnicity, whether you're white, black, Chinese, Middle East, doesn't matter. If you are female and you think you can join a gang and be like, oh, women empowerment, Miss 13, bitches are gonna be running shit now. If you're gonna be running around with AKs, bullets, the gang activities, throwing up gang signs, breastfeeding mid-gang activity, dude, that is uncalled for. Babies and gangs don't mix, you sick fuck. So that's what we say. We said, despite the fact that they're females and we like to empower women as well, as much as men, there's certain things that we do not want to see females in, and that is gangs. So Miss 13, let this be a lesson. Let the word get out that if there are any females out there, any bitches out there, any hoes out there thinking they're gonna be just, you know, acting all thuggish and getting all in, you know, sorts of, you know, gambling and throwing dice on the sidewalk and, you know, wearing all sorts of gang attire and colors and, you know, matching shoelaces and getting fades and braids and just being a female gang member. You think you can just join a female gang and you think that heavy-handed the law is not gonna lay down on you just because you're female? Miss 13, if you're listening out there, we're coming for you. Not me personally, I don't do anything. But we collectively, we're coming for you, Miss 13. So if you're a female and you're thinking of getting into a gang, sister, fucking break it up. Join something positive. Like not like a gang, but you know, maybe could be a gang, but it doesn't have to be negative. Gangs could be positive. It's just another name for a family, for a group. It does have negative connotations, of course. Maybe just, you know, maybe just step away from that life. Maybe what's up with these bitches wanting to join gangs? Why are females infatuated with joining gangs? How did Miss 13 come about? Did it start off with just a bunch of ladies saying, hey, together we could join a gang and create a gang for other ladies to get? Did it all start with maybe braiding hair? Maybe just playing a little hopscotch? Maybe just, you know, sharing a little bit of gossip about the boys? How did it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is that it's, nipped in the bud. Now, one of your leaders, heavy tit lady, probably. I don't know. I didn't see the pictures. I didn't see the video either. But all I know is that Miss 13, leader, you've been arrested, son. So that's what it is. That's what it is. Ladies and gents, I'll say this. If you're out there thinking to yourself that, oh man, I got the best diarrhea game in all the land. Nobody can diarrhea as much as me. Well, put your money where your mouth is, because starting very soon, there's going to be a global competition, the diarrhea games. That's right, diarrhea games, international diarrhea games. Ultimate diarrhea games, where we test everyone. We push you to the limit. You walk the walk, you talk the talk. You know, you think you can just, you've been known to blow up a couple of toilets, a couple of bathrooms have been destroyed. Take pride in that. You think that, you know, you walk into a local bar and just destroy a bathroom and you think you're all that with your diarrhea. Guess what? This is an international competition. International competition concentrating on who's got the best diarrhea game. Because if you think you got this, I got this one move, bro. You gotta check this out. There's a lady out there, there's a female out there who can just, you know, cover the entire backdrop in doo-doo and she thinks she's got it all. Well, guess what? We're gonna test it and see if you can actually compete on an international level. People will be tested in every which way possible, every which way conceivable to man. You will be tested. First, we will test to see how much diarrhea you can actually produce. I'm talking liters, I'm talking gallons. We will measure and see who actually's got the most amount of diarrhea in the toilets. People will compete, men and women of all ages. You will be competing to see who can produce the most amount of diarrhea in a given time frame. 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. 10 minutes is there's like, I can easily produce 2 liters. Bitch, there's There's this guy in Southeast Asia, he can do 4 liters in his sleep. He's doing it as he walks down the street on a regular. So if you're like, oh, you know what? Quantity has never been my thing. I'm more of a speed fella. I can just diarrhea a whole gallon in less than 30 seconds. Guess what? There's an Alaskan out there who can diarrhea 10 gallons in 10 seconds. That's right, 10 gallons in 10 seconds. And they'll be coming in from all around the world. A lot of times people are like, oh, do we feed them the same things? Should they be eating their own food? You will be tested like you've never been tested before. We will give you all the food and all the liquids so that we ensure everybody's eating and drinking the same thing. Your bodies will be rinsed. We are giving enemas to everyone. 3-day minimum of enemas for everybody out there. That's right. And then after we start. So if you're like, oh, I used to be the guy in college that used to get the best diarrheas. This is the fucking big time. This is where the elite of the elite come to show what they've got. So if you think you've got what it takes, show up to the International Diarrhea Games and let it be known that at least you had what it takes to show up and say, you know what, I'm gonna put it on the line. And no one diarrheas like me. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been another Glad You Made It episode and another Sosa production. Subscribe on the YouTube channel, check it out and talk about it. Peace out. Get out of here.